Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. Today we are going to do two things. First, we will install our Symfony 8 project. For this, we will rely on the official documentation because it is the best source of information. I will show you step by step how to use the terminal to create our application. Then we will integrate a template so we can have a nice design from the beginning. We have a lot to do, so let's get started. First, we will look at the installation process. As you can see in the documentation, we can use the command Symfony check :requirements to verify if our environment is compatible with Symfony, and we already checked that in the previous video. Then, to create a Symfony project, we can use Symfony CLI with the command Symfony new project name --version equals 8--webapp. The webapp option installs a traditional web application with all the required components. Without this option, Symfony installs only the minimal components needed for a console application or an API, which is commonly used for microservices. We can also use Composer with the command composer create project Symfony /skeleton project name. This installs a minimal Symfony project. After that, to install the components required for a web application, we enter the project directory and run composer require webapp. In our case, we will use Symfony CLI because it is the easiest method. I will create a project called minibib. Then I enter the project folder and open it in Visual Studio Code. As you can see, we now have a complete Symfony project that we can run immediately. To start the local server, we use the Symfony CLI command. Symfony server :start. Our project is now running on 127.0.0.1. At the moment, the project is empty, but we can already see the Symfony welcome page. Now we will create our first controller. This controller will allow us to integrate our template and display it on a specific route. Inside Visual Studio Code, we use the Symfony console, which provides many useful commands to create controllers, entities, subscribers, and many other components. We can run the console commands in two ways, using php bin/console or using Symfony CLI Symfony console. Both methods execute the same commands. Now we create our first controller using Symfony console make :controller HomeController. We do not need to generate PHP unit tests for now. This command creates two files automatically. A controller file located in src/controller/homecontroller.phpa template file located in templates/home/index.html.twig. The controller file contains the PHP logic, and the template file contains the HTML interface using Twig. Inside the controller, Symfony generates a route called /home. The controller method contains the application logic, such as retrieving data from the database or performing calculations, and then returning the template using the render function. Now we open the template file and we will display it in the browser by visiting /home. As you can see, the home controller page is displayed correctly. Now we will integrate our template. First, we download the template. In my case, I downloaded this free template that contains an HTML file and a CSS file. Then we open the template files in Visual Studio Code. We remove the existing content in the Twig template and replace it with the template HTML code. Next, we integrate the CSS file. Since we are using Symfony 8, we use Asset Mapper. We copy the CSS content into the file assets/styles/app.css. This file is automatically loaded in the project through the import map configuration. Next, we copy the Bootstrap CSS links and place them inside base.html.twig because they will be used globally in the project. If styles or scripts are specific to one page, they can be added directly inside that template using Twig blocks. Then we copy the JavaScript files and place them inside base.html.twig as well. After that, we copy the template HTML content and place it inside the body block of index.html.twig. Finally, we copy the images folder and place it inside the public directory. Images should be placed in the public folder so they can be accessed directly by the browser. After refreshing the page, we can see that the template is correctly integrated. Everything looks exactly like the original template. To summarize, installing a Symfony project can be done in a few seconds using Symfony CLI and the Symfony new project name. Creating a controller can be done using Symfony console make :controller. For template integration, CSS files can be placed inside the assets folder or the public folder. Global styles and scripts should be placed in base.html.twig, while page-specific code should be placed inside the corresponding template. Before finishing this video, we will make a small adjustment. In this template, clicking on an item opens an image. In our project, we want to display book covers with descriptions. When clicking on a book, the user will be redirected to another page where the PDF content of the book will be displayed. So we will remove the unnecessary parts of the template. Later, we will modify the links so they point to our own pages instead of images. That's it for this video. See you in the next one.